Good day to you and welcome, I'm Bakerization, and today I'm going to show you how does Heroes of the Storm perform on my 940M laptop. So on the left you can see my rig. It's i5 6200U with dedicated graphics, nVidia 940M, 2GB of VRAM, slow 8 gig RAM, 800 megahertz. So if you have fast RAM you will have better results. Standard stock 5200 RPM, and I'm usually able to play it at 1080p and my custom setting, which is somewhat between medium and high. Now I know that you don't have a lot of time, so let's jump quickly into the averages. Don't forget that the average don't give you full story. So of course, once you go to low and 720p, you get pretty high average of 69 FPS. However, even with at 1080p at low settings, you can actually get average of around 60, which is usually what people are aiming for today. However, if you're one of those people who are into high fidelity gaming and don't care that much about the frames, then you can also run this game on ultra or even extreme. However, I wouldn't recommend extreme due to its tendency to actually dip down when there is a lot of effects, and that's team fights, and that's when it's important to actually have at least 30 FPS, at least for me. That's actually the problem with the averages. Even though the averages give you this nice amount, and you can expect this the majority of the game, in the important parts you can expect that the results will be lower. That's why I am usually playing at my custom setting, which is at 1080p. I have average of around 40. Very often it's somewhere around 48, 50, but in team fights it never dips below 30. It still stays somewhere around 35 at max. Now let's leave these averages and focus on the other table that I have, numbers. These are the whole range that I was able to get from it, and well, as you can see, the bright darker green, that's where the average is actually over 60, and it doesn't really dip down a lot. Sometimes it dips on some maps, but that's usually due to smoke and some particle effects. However, once we go to the extreme 1080, you can see that that's the one yellow part there, because it actually dipped below 30, and it will dip more as you play actually in 10v10 fights later on in the match. So if there is a lot of effects, a lot of stuff, it can dip down to 22 even, I believe. However, I wasn't able to actually get that in the results. That's why games should all have some kind of benchmarking tool for this. Yet, as you can see, it is fairly playable. Also, slight notice, the difference between medium and custom, you can see the custom setting right now, is that I have lowered the one setting and higher the texture setting. Because the graphics has 2 gigs of VRAM, it can actually hold pretty well even with higher resolutions, and I am a resolution idiot, so I really like texture idiot, so I really like higher textures. I don't really enjoy shadows that much, but the textures are important to me. And it actually improves the general performance just a bit. It doesn't dip down below medium almost at all. As you can see in the averages, is that the custom one actually dips on average only at 1360, 67, 68 and 720p. However, in 1080p and 16 to 900, it doesn't really dip down in average at all. Compared to high setting, it has slight advantage, very slight advantage in those two resolutions. However, if you're playing on 1366 or 720p, then you actually can get more or less stable 60. And that's why I'm playing it like this. Well, I hope that this helps you decide whether to try it or not, whether to maybe get a laptop with 940M or not, and well, thanks for watching, and see you next time.